Hey YouTube, today I'm going to teach you how to play Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. It's a great song off his new album Multiply. Really easy to play and I hope you can learn it. First, put your guitar in full step down tuning. I'll put an online tuner in the description box below if you don't have one. Just remember full step down tuning. If you don't do that, your guitar is not going to sound like mine as you're learning it. And I've had a lot of questions in the past about what tuning a particular song was in that I failed to explain at the beginning of the video, so I thought I'd do it this time. So the chords you're going to be using are D5, D/F sharp minor, or D/F sharp, variation of a G chord, and an A major. So here we go. So that's what he plays for the verse and the chorus. Sometimes with the hammer on, sometimes without. I'll let you decide what you want to do with it. So we're going to start with that D5 chord. Throughout the song you're going to be plucking up. You're going to finger pick and you're going to pluck the D, G, and B strings all at the same time. Pretty much with every chord. Along with whatever the bass note of that chord is. In this case the D5, the D string, open D string is going to be the bass note. So it's just going to be those three. What you're going to do is you're going to pluck those three strings and leave the G open so you can hammer on to the second fret of the G string in that chord. Really simple. And from there, after you pluck that and do the hammer on, you're going to rest your hand back on the strings to mute them. And it gives it a little bit of a percussive slap. I don't know, maybe like a snare drum. Just real quick, mute. Just like that. And then you switch chords. So you're going to do the D/F sharp chord after that. It'll sound like this. Now after you pluck that second chord, like I said, those three strings, D, G, B, plus the bass note. Bass note in this case is the second fret of the low E string. Now instead of muting the string this time, you're going to pluck the bass note again. Strum or just scrape with your nail on some of the higher strings. It doesn't matter if you hit 1, 2, 3, or all of them. Just strum downward. And then pluck the D string on the way back up. So it'll sound like this. And I guess that sounds a little weird without the rest of it, so start from the beginning to that point. And then you switch chords. Then you're going to go to that variation of the G. And the reason I call it a variation is because you only use the third fret of the low E string. The rest is open. So bass note, those three strings, pluck them all at the same time, and then mute right after, like you did with the D chord. And then you're going to switch to the A chord. And I bar it with my index finger, the D, G, and B strings, because it's easier to do the hammer-ons at the end of it. So up until that point, this is how it's going to sound. And then when you get to that A chord, you're going to pluck all of them at the same time, let it ring out a little bit, and then you're going to pluck the D string and then pluck the G string after that. And when you pluck the G string, you're going to do a hammer on and pull off from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret of the G string. And after you do that, you're going to put your ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string. And if you do it hard enough, you don't have to pluck the string. And that'll make it easier to transition back to the beginning. So this is what I mean if you press down hard enough, if you hammer onto it hard enough, you don't have to pluck it. see I'm not plucking it. But if you aren't comfortable with hammer-ons and you can't get it to ring out right, you can do the hammer-on pull-off and then just pluck the 4th fret. Either way, it sounds good. And after that, you go back to that D5 chord, or yeah, D5. So all together, it's going to sound like this, and just play it throughout the verse and chorus. Practice that for a little while until you get it before you move on, because you're going to use different chords for the pre-chorus, I think it would be called, or hook, when he says people fall in love in mysterious ways. Whatever part that is, uses different chords, and I'll go over those now. So for that part, the chords you're going to use are E minor, A7, D, and B minor 7. And the strumming pattern is just a little bit different. So what you can do is same 3 strings plus bass note with the E minor, and then you're going to mute and then pluck just the 3 D, G, B. Now when I say 3 strings, I hope you know I mean the G, D, G, and B strings. So E minor, pluck all including the bass note, mute, then pluck the 3 strings again, then pluck the D string, then strum down on the higher strings, and then pluck the D string again. Then you're going to switch chords, and you're going to pluck the A7 chord, bass note plus the 3. And you're going to do that once, mute, and then switch to the D chord. Now I only pluck the D, G, and B strings the first time, then I pluck the D string again, and then strum down on the whole chord, so you get that 2nd fret high E sound. It's not exactly necessary, but I play it like that. So that part will sound like this. And it's okay if you play the full D chord. It still sounds good. So that's the first part. Then you switch back to the E minor, mute, pluck again, D string, down strum, D string, A7 again, but you hold the A, so pluck it once, mute, pluck it again, D string, strum down, D string again. E minor again, A7, and then instead of switching to the D, you're going to switch to the B minor 7 and do that same pattern. Then E minor again, mute, pluck, D, down strum, D, and then for the A7 again, you're just going to do 5 downward strums. The first 4 are just the A7, and then on the 5th, put your pinky on the 2nd fret of the high E string, and then strum that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you repeat the verse and chorus part. Now the last part of the song is where he says, maybe we found love right where we are. and the chords he uses are pretty much all the ones in the songs. It's going to be B minor 7, A, G, but this time you're going to put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string instead of leaving it open. D/F sharp, E minor, A7, and D. And he plays it along with the words, so you'll hear each chord change. So it'll sound kind of like this. Forgive my singing. Maybe we found love right where we are. We found love right where we are. B minor 7, A, G, D/F sharp, E minor, A7, and D. And that's pretty much all the parts of the song. So you got the verse, chorus, pre-chorus, and then I don't know what, outro, I guess would be that last one. Now, there are probably other versions of this that are like in standard tuning or used with a capo that might be easier, but I learned this from watching one of his videos that I'll put in the description box. I'll put a link to that video so you can hear how to play along with the whole song. I do it, but this video is already 12 minutes long, 13 minutes, so I don't want to bore you too much. So I hope you learn it. If you like my videos, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I actually don't know where the button is anymore. YouTube changes it all the time. But I appreciate all of you guys' support. I really do. Thank you, and good luck.